Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to not let other people affect what you are manifesting. Now, this video is going to be based on some personal experiences that I've had with this, and also an idea of understanding how we can get out of what we call the competitive mind and into what we call the creative mind. Now, most of my like the last, I'd say, like 5 to 8 years, I've been in a sales commission environment. And what this means is that I only get paid a percentage of what I sell. And in this environment, I have coworkers, and many times as customers would come into the store, to put context on it, it was in a women's shoe department in a luxury retailer. What would happen is as customers would come in, we would help them, and we would get paid based upon a percentage of how the dollar amount of what we sold in shoes that day. Now, with this process, what I would notice is that there were two perspectives I could have. There was what is called a competitive mindset, which is where you go in and you are in a way competing with your coworkers. If somebody else gets a good sale, that took away from the potential that you had. And what happened was I lived under that mentality for a very long time, for years. And then I read a book, it wasn't Think and Grow Rich. It was called The Science of Getting Rich by Walter Wattles. I remember I read that. That changed a lot of the perspective of the kind of energy I was portraying with the whole idea of being, instead of a competitive mind, in what is called the creative mind. Now, this is a different state of being, a different way of looking at it, to where you realize that when you are taking action, what happens is there is enough to go around, in the sense that if you view that customer that someone else is helping, that someone else is selling to, as a blockage from taking away from you, that takes away from your state of being. And because you are focused on it, it's almost like you create more of that same experience. Now, the idea behind a creative mind is that if you simply know that there is enough to go around, simply being in that state of being will make it more likely and more probable that you will experience more of that abundance. You're going to pick up the next customer and then have an abundant type day. Now, when I started to apply this, it was like everything began to change. It was like I was in the right place at the right time. It was like even if somebody else had a good sale, I wasn't projecting negativity out there or jealousy. I wasn't attached to those emotions. And then I was more able to focus on selling, on adding value, and my days would be much better because of it. Now, I also want to share with you another experience of where I've noticed that when someone has a lot of momentum for their day, so maybe they keep getting good sales, they keep selling a lot to each customer, there's a tendency for other sales employees to become jealous of that. Now, I've always felt like those employees or other people, sometimes it was myself, of being jealous of that person, that is almost feeding into that reality for that person to continue to perpetuate more and more abundance. So it's almost like the collective thoughts of all of us in the department thinking, why is this person having such a good day, and why am I not having it, reinforces that reality and makes it so there's more likelihood that that person keeps getting good sales, keeps being in the right place at the right time. And it's such a funny paradox, because even with me, for example, sometimes I have those days and everyone else will be like, why is Aaron having such a good day? He's just always in the right place at the right time. And sometimes I feel like maybe that, I'm in a certain state of being, but that really adds to it, because then throughout the whole day, it just keeps on happening and keeps on happening. Now, part of this is because of momentum. When you're just in the right state of being, you attract similar type people, and it's like everything just continues to flow. But it's about understanding that whatever we are focused on, whatever state of being that we're in, is going to reinforce that reality over and over again. So I think that a lot of times we are influencing other people's outcomes subconsciously, but the true power of this video is knowing that we can deliberately create what we want by holding our frame. It's a belief if I go in there and believe that everyone else has power over what I'm creating or over my own abundance or over me being in a competitive state versus a creative state. And if you hold the frame and know that if somebody else has a good day, that doesn't mean that you have to have a bad day, of believing that there's a limited amount of resources to go around. It's about really being able to hold your own frame for what you're focused on and then feeling the emotions of the gratitude and the state of being that you prefer. So, of course, I believe that we can influence parts of what other people experience, because from a certain perspective and what they call mirror neurons, there's a certain level of ways we influence each other without even really knowing it. But the true power is in knowing that that cannot happen without our permission. There's times I go around, I have a lot of energy, I'm a very outgoing and loud person, and there's times I go around people that are the exact opposite of that, but that doesn't bring me down unless I give it permission to. And sometimes it has brought me down, and I've realized because I did give myself permission of going to that state of being. But what I've realized is that if I just simply see it as funny, or I just, I don't do it in a condescending way, but what I decide to do is I'm just going to be in my own movie. I'm not going to adhere to thinking I have to be in that state of being. It's like everything continues to build off that momentum. So realize that you can hold the frame for who you prefer to be, that everyone in your life is a cameo in your movie, and having that kind of perspective allows you to be at the cause rather than the effect. Know that our thoughts are influencing what kind of experiences we are having, that even though sometimes other people's may influence ours, it only happens if we give it permission, and that we can be in what is called a creative mindset for knowing that there is an abundance to go around. That when we are focused on that abundance, it puts us in a certain state of being, and that then being in that state of being makes it more likely that we will resonate with what we prefer to experience. So that's my personal experience with this, and I think that it can maybe really empower you in knowing that you can hold your frame, you can be the star in your own movie, and be in a creative mindset. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you guys on the next vid. Peace, much love, namaste. All right, bye.